Hello, and welcome back to the Battle Room. My name is Raghav, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, the Battle Room. How you doing, Battle Room?
I'm doing great today. So today we're gonna, what are we gonna do today? What are we gonna do today, Raghav?
Well, we went over one of Colin's, wins, one of his regional championship victories, and I thought maybe we should spotlight one of my great matches versus the number one player in the country right now, and I think the number one player back then, versus Joseph Ugarte in the top 4 of NAIC.
Yeah, Joe's had quite a legendary run of nonstop being number 1 in CP, and that wasn't any different back in 2023. So yeah, I mean, Joe, he's always hungry to win, though. Like, if there's one thing I know about Joe, is he cares about winning more than everything. That's the number one priority. So he obviously wanted to beat your ass here, 100%.
Yeah, in some important context, all right? At this point, Joe is coming off a top 4 NAIC from last year, too. His second half of the season's been really strong, and he just played the same exact team in top 8. So he just had a set against what I'm using, beat him, and now he's playing me. So this is what's like the situation is. I'm feeling a bit nervous because he did, beat the same team, but at the same time, this is the hottest I've ever been. I mean, just look at me. I'm looking incredible. And,
Also,
I'm on fire at this moment. It's, first time I've top cut NAIC. I feel like I have a decent matchup. It's the classic weather war, sun versus rain. But what was it like from the outsider's perspective? I know Colin was a little sad. That might seem kind of crazy that his best friend's in top 4, but Colin was sad at the moment.
So also at this point in the season, this was the most ridiculous, crazy situation of all time, in Pokemon history. So what happened was that back then there was a stipend and a day 2 award, right? If you were in the top 8 players, you got a free trip to Worlds, which was in Japan, which was nice, and you also got a day 1 buy. So you just didn't have to play day 1. And at this point, actually, through all of day 2 history, no one has won Worlds except for one person who went through day 1. And that was the only person that's ever done that is Wolf, right? So if you want to win Worlds, you kind of need to start in day 2. That's just kind of how it was perceived. So I made it my goal to get day 2 this year. And at this point in the race, at this current moment, when Raghav is playing in top 4, I think I'm like 10 points ahead of Raghav. Or no, I'm not 10 points ahead of Raghav. I'm ahead of Raghav in 8th place. And Raghav is right below me. And if he wins this set, he passes me by, I believe it was 2 points. He was going to beat me by 2 points if he were to make it to finals, right? So at this point in the tournament, I'm feeling stressed because, like, low-key, I want Raghav to lose. But also low-key, I want Raghav to win. It was a horrible situation. Either way, my season, like, if I got to go to if I go to day 2 Worlds, came down to the set right here. So I was watching with bated breath. This was like the most I've paid attention to a set in my entire life that wasn't my own.
The other thing is, it's not like it was really likely for me to get this. I needed literally second at internets, I believe, or maybe top 4. I don't remember the exact situation, but I was coming off a terrible streak. To be completely transparent, I was not doing well that year mentally, right? I ate shit at every regional. I didn't make a day 2 of a single regional. That being said, I got the most points from internets out of any player in the world that year because I got top 4 at OCIC at the beginning of the season. I think I got like top 64 at EUIC, and then I was popping off at NAIC, kind of out of nowhere, but yeah, it had to be done, unfortunately, and I did tell everyone afterwards, including our Uber driver right after this, that I knocked Colin out, and so it was a little bittersweet.
Yeah, because it was also crazy, though, because not only did, like, Raghav have this insane run, but literally every person above me, all of the people, the 9 players, 1 through 9, all made day 2 at that tournament, right? Like, that was the crazy part, is if one person choked, I was chilling. I was in day 2, but no one choked. Everyone locked in, and they played the best Pokemon they've ever played. It was absurd. It was an absurd tournament the entire time. It was nuts. But yeah, so that's the stakes right here, right? Raghav, if he wins this, he gets to skip day 1 and go to day 2 of the World Championships, and it's going to be lit. But if he loses, then he has to play day 1, and I get day 2.
And again, I was feeling pretty stressed because my day 2 was kind of reliant on my performance and cut, but I had just beaten the number 1 seed Marco Fierro, so just like another really strong player. So I felt like I could do it. I just knew I couldn't play like a loser. Like, I had to play full gas. I had no breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I do think it's one of those phenomenons in Pokemon where, like, sometimes when you play the team the first time, easy win, easy, like, dub for Joe. But then when you have to do it again, it's like, fuck, dude, now he kind of knows. Especially because the first match, the top 8 match was streamed where he beat your team already. So now he's sitting there and he's like, fuck, I got to do this back-to-back and clutch up here. And I'm not going to lie, going into this set, when I did, oh shit, dude, they just skipped the whole team preview. But when I was watching this set, I was like, I really think Raghav is winning this. I knew in my heart that you were going to clutch it up here and just kick Joe's ass, even though Joe did destroy Jody. So yeah, what did you think about this matchup? Let's talk about the matchup a little bit and let's hop right in.
Yeah, just real quick. I do think I have a lot of tools, right? I have Pelipper, I have Arcanine, and I have Fluttermane. I think those 3 are pretty good, but also I'm thinking maybe I don't want Fluttermane. I want Iron Hands to threaten that King Gambit. It's pretty bad into the Tusk. It's pretty bad into his Fluttermane. But Joe loves him some King Gambit. And I know at this point that as long as I pivot my weather well and I don't eat a bunch of sleep powders, I have a shot in this. And something that was going for me is that in top 8, they played very differently. I play the team completely differently, and I take a more defensive approach a lot of the time. And that's just kind of how I approached it the whole tournament. I brought Arcanine literally every game. And so I knew I had a good chance, but Joe's a little bit of my demon. We've played before, and he gets a little lucky versus me on top of playing incredible. So I was, I wanted some revenge. I think the matchup's good. I just had to show up.
Yeah, I feel like also, like, it is just about dodging those sleep powders sometimes, or, like, having to, like, trying to diffuse Jumpluff as much as you can. But the classic rain versus sun, it's always going to be favoring rain for the most part. Water is super effective against fire, it turns out.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
And
so we're going to
lead with Palafin.
Yep, Palafin. This is back when Palafin was the GOAT here. And Joe, like you said, he led with that King Gambit. He led double Fighting Week into that beautiful Iron Hands right there.
Yeah, so if you're in my shoes, what do you think of going for here?
Well, first things first, we got to switch that motherfucking Palafin out, right? Like, that's step one. That's, like, Palafin Mechanics 101. I mean, I think this is kind of a free fake out switch, but you could also go on the offensive here. Maybe force a Terra. Maybe just swing at the one you think that Joe, like, obviously King Gambit's a sitting duck, so, like, targeting down Champao could be really beneficial. I think you have a lot of options. Oh shit, dude, you just switched in an Arcanine on the King Gambit. Holy.
My thought process was, this King Gambit feels like shit. It's Terra Fire for context, so I had it in a pin with Drain Punch and Wave Crash. I'm thinking that slot can't protect. It's probably going to switch out. I might as well get the Arcanine in and just attack that slot because I know the King Gambit can't protect. And you see Jianpao goes for the protect. It would have been useless. But I get a little cheeky Volt switch off. Now my Palafin's back in, already in hero form. He's not the little baby dolphin anymore. He's ready to slam Joe.
This is the classic fucking Iron Hands Palafin combination. The turn 1 0 to hero, instant smash, and Joe literally did no damage. You damaged Jumpluff and got the hero from Palafin on the same fucking turn. That was a nasty turn 1. Holy.
Yeah, this is a really good situation because I got the Intimidate off on Jianpao too. Because I'm not doing any damage, right? I believe my Arcanine's safety goggles too. I feel like he can do nothing. He has to eat a Blitz with either Pokemon. The best case scenario is a Torkoal, and then he's setting up the Sun, and if he doesn't get it right, the Blitz is just doing too much. And
also, like, he has no switch, right? Like you said, it's only Torkoal. King Gambit can't come in. You are chilling right now with this Arcanine. Sleep powder.
Yeah,
whips.
that's why I just put the protect because I think the Blitz is just really safe damage, and I do have extreme speed on my Arcanine as well. So however I want to play this, it's just free damage to me. I prioritize getting the Jianpao because even though I'm scared of sleep powder, like Jianpao's the thing that actually does damage.
And also one thing to note here that you haven't mentioned yet is that the big spicy the spicy tech that you did implement for this tournament was the fact that you used Terra Grass Palafin, right? That was a huge deal. No one was really running it at the time. It was very much water focused. So you have a Terra Grass Palafin, correct?
Yes, I do have a Terra Grass Palafin, and my thought process was like, hey, Rain Boost is stronger than Terra Water. Dodging Amoonguss is actually so useful. So in this case, I mean, Jumpluff's the same idea. I don't want to get hit by a Sleep Powder or Leaf Storm. I can just Terra Grass, Jet Punch this Pow, and kill the Jumpluff with my Arcanine.
Exactly. So now you basically have made this jump left completely irrelevant, right? Like, Joe is at his strongest when he's hitting you a sleep powder, but you're just not letting him do that. You're just terragrassing Palom, and you got the safety goggles on the other guy, and you're just chilling here.
Yeah, and the nice part is there's like, even though it's a Sun team, there's literally no fire Pokemon on the field. I think, forget that he had Ice Shard, and I was like, oh shit, that's actually maybe going to do a little bit of damage. But it was also so nice that he didn't have Sucker Punch, because this meant my Arcanine was not dying to this double up, no matter what.
Oh my god, yeah, he eats it, and now he's just going to smack Jumpluff down for the KO. No Tailwind, and now the Weather War is won. You just have to send in Iron Hands, and we presumably think you have Pelipper, right? You send in Iron Hands, and you are chilling now. There's nothing you can do.
It's just like that big of a fucking, like, slamming it on the table. Like, I don't even need the Pelipper in this matchup.
Yeah, because there's nothing he can do at this point. Like, you just literally switch into Iron Hands, and then you just switch into Pelipper, and you're chilling.
No, you're completely right. You just go hands. All I do is protect, I think, Drain Punch the King Gambit, then switch to Pelipper Jet Punch, I feel like, is the 100% win con. I think Raghav in that moment probably had a much better idea, but off the top of my head, that's just, seems to be what's going to win the game, I think.
I do like that he's trying here. Like, the helping in Terra Blast, Terra Fire is really quite... Okay, he's going for Fissure. But either way, this is pretty fucking funny. I guess you're right. You can just full switch.
It's also so scary because even if it's doing nothing on the field, like, there's just a chance I lose the game on the spot. But here, it doesn't matter because you know what's immune to Fissure? Flying types. Pelipper is a flying type.
Pelipper is truly one of the fucking goats of this fucking game. Like, Scarlet and Violet Pelipper is a different beast.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite renaissances. I feel like Pelipper was so dog shit, was so, like, hated on. Nobody gave the duck like the respect it needed. And obviously it's not a duck, it's a pelican, I know that. But real 2017 heads know about double duck. And so Pelipper is and always will be a duck in my head. But yeah, it just, like, was so broken in every Scarlet Violet format up until, honestly, I want to say Regulation I.
But I think it wasn't broken like Fluttermane is, where Fluttermane's like a little cringe. Like, I don't like... I mean, I love Fluttermane, I love using it, but, like, it's not, like, Pelipper fucking blows. This Pokemon is ass, its stats are terrible, it's just so dog shit. Also, I love the way you play that, by the way. You Drain Punch first, make him Terra, and then you're like, I'm just guaranteed kill him next turn. Like, even if the Fissure hits, you don't care. Even if he hit 2 Fissures in a row, you don't care. You had this game locked up perfectly. You played it so clean. Not making mistakes.
I wanted to guarantee it. And also, I just can't believe you compared Pelipper to Fluttermane. I would never put that kind of pressure on
you. Said broken! You said broken. I think Fluttermane is broken.
I know, but the fact that you can even put it in the same sentence kind of shows how good Pelipper was in this format.
Dude, I think it's good even now. I think it's been the entirety of Scarlet Violet from Reg A to Reg I. It's been the GOAT. It's been, like, usable at a high level. It, like, literally could win Worlds this year. It almost won last year! And I definitely didn't think it was that good.
No, it's so good. I think double restricted makes it a bit harder. Everything has to be a bit more important. One thing I want to point out, it says I'm from India there instead of the US, and I think that's pretty fucking sick. Gives me points for the, for the drip war, but I am biased. So what are your thoughts here on the drip war?
In the drip war, I gotta say I do like Joe's drip this match. Usually he's known for his hoodie, Dark Joe, if you will. But I do think this time he came to play in the drip war. He's clean shaven, I like the little mustache, obviously. But I do think, let's send it back. I think your drip war goes pretty elite here. They let you wear your bee hat too, which I thought was pretty nuts. I'm surprised they didn't cover it up. But I think you came to play, and I gotta give the drip war to you.
I appreciate it, because I do think, full disclosure, I think this is the best Joe's looked at a tournament. He looks clean as hell. I love the shirt. You know, he's ready to play. But he's going up against the Juggernaut, dude. Like, exactly. I just got my septum pierced. I got the jewelry. I'm feeling it, dude. I also had a fresh cut. You can't see because of the hat, but yeah, they did let me wear the hat on stream quite a few tournaments. It was only, like, after this season that they were just like, no, we can't let you be kind anymore. You actually have to be a tape man.
The tape hat is brutal, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so after that game 1, what are you thinking, right? Because I feel like you demolished him. The turn 1 was beautiful. The turn 2, you literally outplayed him every turn. Like, I don't think he ever had super... like, good footing, right? Like, you just knew what you were doing. You baited the Terra, you played your Terra better than him, and you just locked down that jump left. So how is Joe gonna adjust?
Honestly, I don't know why what I did. I feel like I was running on pure adrenaline, unmedicated depression and anxiety. So I was just kind of going with the flow. And I felt like, he probably won't like Flutter Mane. I feel like the only way he can pressure my Flutter Mane is with this King Gambit, which is why I led with Iron Hands, or his own Flutter Mane. And I was kind of playing into that. So in this case, honestly, I have no idea what I did.
It is. I mean, I do think the Fluttermane's a good lead. The one fun thing about Fluttermane here, right, is that you're always gonna outspeed Jump Bluff, whether sun's up or not. So you do get that guaranteed like damage for the turn. And if you do eat a sleep,
I think when sun's up, isn't Jump Bluff faster?
Oh, you're right though. It does get double speed. I forgot. I literally forgot the mechanic. Yeah, it does get double. So it is faster.
I think my idea was just to Moonblast it though. Like you're totally right. And probably go for either the Volt Switch predicting the King Gambit to switch out again, or just Drain Punch the slot.
And like potentially just trade.
Yeah, I think I knew something was going to sleep here, but I really didn't want it to be my Iron Hands, so I Terra Grassed. My second Terra Grass Pokemon, I was really, really scared of Pluff, because I know how Joe gets when he hits those Sleep Powders.
And he whiffs the Sleep Powder turn. Oh, he went for Fluttermane. He actually whiffed it. And then you got his fat Dazzle off. Okay.
Oh my god, that turn was actually perfect. I totally forgot what happened. I think I was just blessed. I was like, dude, he hits the Sleep Powder, so what? The King Gambit has to switch out. I'm just gonna attack. I eat the sleep, or I just dodge and win the game on the spot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, also what's kind of interesting here is like, Palafin is just such a weird Pokemon. Like, though he's so fun. I think Palafin's so sick. But the one thing is, like, do you bring a pack Palafin, right? Because Palafin would clean up this game at this point. Joe does have 2 King Gambits. You can see in that bottom left there. But, like, I still think Palafin... I do think Palafin's still going to, like, potentially clutch this one up. I do like, though, that he does threaten this Terra Blast Fire on you. That, honestly, Joe's team is kind of crazy from this tournament. I forgot how wild he was.
Yeah, I really respect Joe kind of just grinding with the same comp and saying, no, it's going to work. I'm just going to adjust it. And if I play well, if I get a little lucky, no one can really stop me. And I think you kind of analyzed it well. The tricky part is if I've brought Palafin, how to get it set up in rain, but also maybe not being baby form. And so here I just switch in the Pelipper because I am scared of that Terra Fire Blast. And I'm probably trying to force a Terra on this King Gambit at this point.
It also is interesting, right? Because he does have the eject pack, so that is one cool thing about Torkoal here is Joe does get to freely press overheat if he wants to, and just U-turn out with a fucking Torkoal. It was so sick. Oh my god.
That's actually super annoying because I switch in the Pelipper, but immediately he's about to get the weather control back. If he lands the overheat, that is.
Does he miss it? I don't actually remember. Okay,
no,
he did. He did.
He hits it, dude.
That's a negative, dude.
This ain't fraud victory, bro. I dodged one Sleep Powder.
He's eating, bro. Look at his Iron Hands. He didn't even do half with the double fire moves.
Yeah, Iron Hands is just a stupid broken Pokemon. It doesn't really need an ability. You guys might know it with Miraidon getting those Cork Drive boosts, but back then it's just so fat you didn't even care.
Dude, he was so broken, dude. He was so awesome. Alright, this was like peak Iron Hands. I mean, like, I think he's still very good, but this was like when he was the fucking king of the format. Him and Fluttermane ruled with an Iron Fist. Okay, so at this point...
Honestly, this is tricky. I feel like this is really tricky for me because I want to switch out the Pelipper really bad. And we still don't know what my 4th Pokemon is. If it's Arcanine, it's kind of ass, I think. I need to find a way to kill this Terrifier King Gambit without dying to Fluttermane. And he does double my Iron Hands. I think we saw the King Gambit was faster, and it's just dead.
The Assurance tech was sick there, I'm not going to lie. Like, it was just a cool tech in general. But yeah, that's a good turn for Joe. It is really a question of how you're going to deal with the Flutter and King Gambit here. Because if you... Oh, you do have Palafin. You brought the back Palafin. You're crazy. But now switching him out is such a pain in the ass because you lose the Weather War. This is actually a crazy scenario.
Yeah, this is not an ideal situation for me at all.
You could totally lose.
I feel like I didn't navigate it perfectly because I didn't lead the Palafin, but I need him. I think I need the damage into potential fire types. And so I realized here, like, okay, he's in a tough spot. I can pin down the Fluttermane spot and basically guarantee a KO with Shadow Ball and Jet Punch, right? If he switches to Torkoal, I feel fine because I win the Weather War.
It comes down to which flutter is faster.
I was max speed timid. I don't know if that was a speed tie, if he was speed booster, or if he was special attack boosting. But me winning there, being faster, just wins the game. Because now I can actually switch, the Palafin out, and I do think I should win with Pelipper hero form Palafin.
Yeah, because back then, a lot of people, to put it in context, they did run special attack booster flutter because the specs plus the sun. It did insane damage. I think it's safe to assume that Joe was the slower flutter there. We don't know for sure. I don't actually really know. But I do think a special attack boosting flutter looks like it would be correct on Joe's team.
Yeah, I remember going into the tournament, I was like, I'm going to be max speed flutter, man. I just think it's a huge advantage, and I don't think I need to do anything other than live a sucker punch. Specs gives me enough damage, and yeah, I just ran max speed, and we'll never know if it was a speed tie. I'm just going to assume it wasn't because it makes me feel better.
Oh, and there's the Shadow Ball. Here comes the Assurance, but at this point it is too little too late here. Fat overheating a belly, too. Look at him go.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think Joe can do anything other than maybe crit Sucker Punch, I guess.
Even if he crits Sucker Punch, you just get to Jet Punch, kill both of them. I don't even think, like, King Gambit, I don't think can live Jet Punch. Palafin is a fucking restricted.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? If he crits maybe Assurance then on the Palafin, but I feel like I haven't taken damage on the Palafin, so I actually don't think I can lose. Because it has to be like a crit King Gambit attack, getting all the turns right, and landing a fissure. So I was trying to get into a situation where my Palafin can Jet Punch the King Gambit and the other slot kills Torkoal. Don't risk any fissure shenanigans at all. And he Sucker Punches the Flutter, and that's what happens.
Yeah, but now it's time for the hero form. He's ready to go. Dude, the way you played the back Palafin in this game was pretty nasty, too. Like, Palafin is so... I love this Pokemon so much. I think he's such a fun design. It's a little sad that Urshifu is just so goated that you can't use him anymore. But he was so, like... He was strong. He was OP as fuck. But he also felt, like, kind of fair, in a way. Like, because you did have to switch him out, which felt like shit.
It was a beautiful form of skill expression, honestly, having to switch him out to even get him set up. It was really fun. You can see how happy. I can't even fathom the moment. I look so stupid. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do, dude? I can't believe I made the finals of NAIC. And just telling you guys right now, we're not analyzing the finals ever on this channel. Don't even watch it, dude. It's ass. I get demolished. But honestly, I really appreciate Joe for holding my hand up there and really celebrating me. This was like easily the biggest moment in my Pokemon career, and I just feel like I played incredible in top 4 and top 8, and I'm glad I could finally share it on the channel. Colin doesn't like when I share my wins because I get a little too cocky, but I think it's good,
You also make me watch your wins, bro. You make me watch them all the time. Did you also see how Joe timed the lift up, bro? Look at this. Look at when he lifts up your hand. Literally, the fireworks explode on the back. Like, boom! Perfect timing.
Dude, he's a pro. He was there last year. He knows what it's like. At this point, he's trying to make the moment even better. But yeah, that's how I, as the 8th seed, coming off a terrible season, made the finals of NAIC and knocked Colin out of Day 2 Worlds. Honestly, a truly crazy storyline.
It was actually absurd, too, that it was you of all people, right? Like, that you needed second or better at NAIC. And the funny thing is if, like, it all came down, like, I also had to bubble the top 32 as well. I had the same record as the people in top 32, but I got fucking, like, 34th, 36, one of the two. And so I was really close. And if I had gotten that, I actually would have tied Raghav in points, and we both would have gotten the trip. But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Oh my.
Yeah, it literally... We would have tied. I remember looking at it. It was literally, or there was another instance where if I had won a PC instead of getting second, I literally would have tied. It was like that close. It was literally 8 fucking points that determined where our fate lied. I mean, obviously we didn't know you were gonna get second at NAIC, right? Like going into it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know it was gonna be 8 fucking points, but like yeah, it was super close. It was crazy. And yeah, it actually sent me into a crazy downward spiral where I didn't perform well at events for about 6 months, but it is what it is.
To be fair, if you got, the points you needed, I would have won the finals. So
yeah. Yeah, then you would have just won.
You're at your strongest right now, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for this kind of journey that we've been on.
Yeah,
together.
of course.
Yeah, this was fun. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like you have to, slam the subscribe button now so we can hit 20 million by the end of the week. I just think it could happen. If we do hit 20 million at the end of the week, I will send a random subscriber a laptop.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. Also, thank you guys for the 6K, though. We did just hit 6K, so shout out to you guys. And we'll see you guys next time. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.